I'm so excited because joining us right now is David Allen, Director of Special Projects right here at Seattle Theater Group. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy that you invited me.
Absolutely. I mean, well, as O said earlier, we get to hear from a true legend right here at Seattle Theater Group. So I know Omari probably wants to start, but I just had to say, man, I agree. True legend.
Yeah, yeah. Welcome. Like I said, welcome to the Morning Update Show. First of all, maybe you could tell our audience, how long have you been here?
I have been here just over 42 years.
Just over 42 years.
So, yes, you can say I've been with the building.
Definitely. I mean, yeah, and we talked about it a bit earlier. People seem to come here and stay for a long time. What is it that you do as a director of special projects?
Well, I tell you, I'm trying to figure that out myself. But I have, I recently had stepped down as the COO, handing the reins over to a very worthy other member of staff. But as a COO, I will continue to support staff, support the community, support anybody and anything that needs to happen. I don't particularly see myself as a person who is, attached to just this. Like, say, for instance, if we decided to take on another property, whether I would yes, I'd be the person, who would have to get that thing up and going. But that's not the only thing, in life. I like dealing with kids, and of course, I'm doing this on my way to retirement. But again, you don't truly retire. You retire, you die. So,
Mm.
what is the next
Are you from
step in
Jamaica?
my?
I know. I was about to ask.
Well, yes, I know.
Okay, it all makes sense now.
Yeah.
People who know, they know.
We know they know. Well, you've been here for a really long time. And, at the end of the day, you've probably seen tremendous growth. Talk to us a little bit about the ways that you've seen Seattle Theater Group progress.
Well, Seattle Theater Group, started out, well, let's start, I guess, before that, as I said, I was with the building more than anything else, and so when Seattle Theater Group came to being, it used to be called the Seattle Landmark Association, but the SLA, of course, didn't sit too right with a lot of people because of the Sinhalese Liberation Army, So we changed the name to the Seattle Theater Group. It sort of more represented what we did because the Seattle Landmark Association, yes, it was only part of what we at Seattle Theater Group do. We are stewards of historic buildings. We are not in the new stuff, So that's what we do really well. Is steward these historic buildings and make sure that they don't get torn down and it's really enjoyable work, if I may say so myself. It's been
Well, yeah, it kept you for 42 years. It has to be enjoyable, I'm sure.
What position did you start at here 42 years ago in this building?
I started with one of the partners of the ownership of the building. Well, they were actually leasing it at the time, um, Ulysses, and he had a company that was the give me a second here. The they were artist management.
Mm.
Okay, and I was with a group at that time called Third World as their management. And when I decided to move here, he was the manager, as I say, of Third World, and he asked me if I'd come and uh, give them a hand in what they were doing, and I said yes. Well, that was 1979, and, and I'm still here.
Wow. And in all those years, I got to ask, what are some of the standout moments for you? Being here, as you said, being with this building, really growing with the building and keeping it as a historic landmark, ensuring that it's not getting torn down. What are some of the moments that really stand out to you?
Boy, that's a big question.
Yeah.
there, there are so many. It's the people you meet, the the people from the community that you meet. It's artists that you meet that really have an impact on your life.
Mm.
And also what you can do to help others. It is the amazing part of all of this. It's not just because these buildings belong to the public, you
Mhm.
know. And as probably have heard before, we always talk about it being the People's Theater, which was one of the dreams of Ida Cole, who helped restore this building, or I should say, restored this building uh, with our help in terms of what we were doing before, what we did after, in how we were able to um, give our lend our experiences to what the building should be, how it should look, how it should behave in terms of incoming artists and so on, what it should do.
Mm. Truly serving
It
community.
yeah, it's I mean, I could go on and on,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's the way that your colleagues here that we bumped into here in the Paramount and part of Seattle Theater Group, the way that they speak about you is with so much reverence and so much respect. Everything else is you're part and parcel of this historic building and this theater group. I like how you said that, man. We're here to preserve these buildings, and we're here to. It's the people's place, and it's for community. My last question for you is how do you think that the Paramount and STG is doing to fulfill that vision of making it really the people's house and making it more inclusive for community?
well, let me start by talking a little bit about my colleagues. I really appreciate what they've said about me, but I gotta say, you know, no man is an island, and without them, I could not shine either. And talking about respect, you know, you gotta give it and ask for it back or demand for it back. Let's use a stronger word. you know, People often say, you have to earn my respect. Nah, I disagree. I say I respect you from the get go, but you're gonna respect me back, you know, or I won't put up with it. That's one. But you ask about what SDG is gonna do for the community. You know, as we are reopening, it was probably the hardest year and a half of all of our lives, not just the Idle Theater, all of us. And, you look back and you reflect on what you have done, what you think you have done, and then you realize that, well, maybe, just maybe, I haven't done enough. So you start thinking, how are we gonna go forward from here? And one of the things I would say to you is we can start by changing the face of the organization to reflect the face of the community
Mm.
to begin with. And then really and truly examine ourselves and see, have I truly done my part? Have I really done my part? Uh, A lot of people say, oh, yeah. But then again, as I said, have we truly done our part? Well, going forward, we truly are going to do our part, whatever that may be. And and things change every day, things, and you have to change along with it. Again, I'm older. It's more difficult for me, you know, but experiences through life for me, first of all, coming from Jamaica, you know, and then moving here and having learned how to get around in the society that I found here was indeed a, a life changing experience for me. And I try to pass on what I have learned over the years to kids. And as I said, when I retire, I am hopeful that I'll be teaching it to the kids.
Wow.
So
Wow. Passing it on. It's
Man,
just
David
beautiful.
Allen, yo,
Seriously.
thank you so much for taking the time. I mean, I'm gonna talk to you more after the show.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
anytime I will talk to anybody, anytime,
Yeah.
man,
especially the kids.
We'll
You
make sure
know?
we stay
So,
thank
connected.
you,
Thank
thank
you
you,
so
sir.
much.
We're gonna,
thank you
we're,
for having me.
yes,
Yeah.
sir.